Hello, welcome to the G.I. Joe New News Classified Reviews. My name is David T. Allen, or if you would like, Super Dave 817. If you would like to see more of this content, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification button for future videos. Thank you and enjoy.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the G.I. Joe New News Classified Review. I'm David Allen. If you'd like, you can call me Super Dave 817. We are here this morning to talk about number 85, the Crimson Viper. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for joining me this morning. We are going to be discussing this figure, and we will be having another episode later this afternoon that will be the 150th subs special episode. So if you're in the chat and you're watching this, please tune in this afternoon for that. It'll be about 5 o'clock Eastern time if you would be interested to watch that. We have a lot of fun things that we're going to be doing during that episode. So I look forward to everybody joining in the chat and asking questions and contributing to some of the choices that we're going to make in that video. So I just wanted to get this video out of the way really quickly. So hopefully it won't be that long of a video. We're covering a repaint of the Viper as the Crimson Viper. Add to my Crimson faction again. So let's see. We have, he's number 85. We have that same artwork. Actually, the artwork's slightly different because we had the regular Viper, then we had the 3-pack Vipers, and then I think we had the Python Viper. So this is a new piece of artwork for this Crimson Viper. Looks pretty good overall. Nothing fancy about it. And then we have the target artwork with the QR code to nowhere. And then we have the cross sell with a couple of the accessories and the equipment. And then we have the designations. We'll go over the designations real quick. Let's see. We have the boot, which is, I believe, boots on the ground. Yep, foot soldier is the boot. Then we have the one with all the missiles. That one is light weapons. So we got foot soldier, light weapons. Then we have the fist. The fist is hand-to-hand combat. And then we have the one with the moon, and environmental specialist knight. I think that's what that is. Environmental specialist knight. Let me verify to make sure that's the right thing. No. Yep, I guess that's the only one. That's it. It's got to be environmental specialist knight for some weird reason. So there's your designations, and it gives the cross sell with all the loadout on there. And so there we go. And then we have this cool piece of photography art by Shooting the Galaxy Matt from the Hasbro team. And it looks like they're on the deck of a airfield. And those are Sky Strikers. So why is there a Viper, a Crimson Viper, on the deck of a G.I. Joe Sky, the deck for the Joe team fighting them, unless they're invading or trying to get some secrets or something like that. I'm not sure, but we'll find out soon enough. And there's that little cross sell and that artwork again, and number 85. And again, this is the first time we're opening all theyese figures up. Started with Snake Eyes 000, and now we're going on up through the line, the ranks, whatever you want to call it. And we're up to this point, and we've done 9 vintage package figures, and we've done some odds and ends with the 00 Snake Eyes, the Fortnite Snake Eyes running variants. So here's your Crimson Viper. Again, very subdued color scheme on him, not really that bright. And then we have the weapons crate, Crimson Viper, 85, and Cobra. So I'm always happy to add more Crimson troops to my Crimson Guard faction. I have set up some new displays over the last few days, and I have added all my Crimson faction to one display, and I added all my Python and Tiger Force to another display. And then eventually I'm going to do one for the Dreadnoks, and I will do one for, I think, Night Force and Sergeant Slaughter's Marauders, if there's enough figures of each of those to do a display for that, because I'm trying to keep the all the repaints separate. And then I'm going to put, I have the regular Joes in 2 displays, regular Cobras in 2 displays, 3 displays, in fact. The Overflow Cobras have their own display, and then Overflow Joes have their own display. If they're like a second release or a vintage package release or whatever, I'll put them in the Overflow section for that. And so that's what I'm doing with those. And then that is it. And then I'm putting vehicles and stuff on the bottom, and special vehicles on the bottom. And then I'm putting the HasLabs and stuff up on the top. So we'll be moving some of that stuff around. So there's that. So here we go. Here's our Crimson Viper. And here's his interior art for his package again. Okay. So I pulled out a couple other Vipers just to give a little bit of design comparison to some of these. It looks like all this is basically a repaint. It's a matter of the deco, how the deco looks, and how the color scheme falls on him to make him any different than his previous figures. So you can see here that he's pretty much a copy. The figure is almost identical. He's got the gauntlets, he's got the helmet, he's got the boots, he's got a holster. We'll get into his accessories in a little while. So far, some of the accessories are going to probably be different because, from what I can tell, not all these accessories are the same. Like the Python version and the regular version that we got released like in the 20s, 23 or 4, somewhere around there, was the same. But then the Viper team, they had a bunch of different accessories, so you can mix and match those. So that's what this one has, is one of those different accessories. The backpack looks like it's going to be the same. So we'll see what this one comes with. I hope he comes with some different stuff. I'm going to place him over there with my Crimson faction, and that's growing pretty a lot. And there'll be another Crimson faction member joining that team very, very shortly here. So that ought to be really cool. All right, so let's get into some of these accessories. So open this weapons crate up. We got his Cobra and Joe package again. There. Then we got the Legal, Indicia, Gobbledygook there. And there. That in there. So there's his backpack, and it is a different deco to the previous ones. He's got red, gray, black on there, and he's got the rope is black. So far, the other two, the rope is dark gray and light gray, but now in this one it's black, so it's slightly different. He's got the same gun as the first two, the regular Viper and the Python Viper, except they did it in a light gray to match his backpack. Then he has the handkerchief, which is in a blue deco, so it's like an opposite blue of his red. Morning, Sean Jones. Thanks for joining us in the chat. So we're going to be doing the 150th subs episode later this afternoon around 5 o'clock. So keep an eye out on that and come join us so you can help us with that vote for the Street Fighter and vote for whatever else you guys would like me to open up in that 150th special. And then we have his pistol, which is gray. And then we have his goggles, which are black with silver highlights. Slightly different to the previous ones. This one has a gold highlight on it, and the regular one has black. So I'm going to put this in his holster there. I'm going to put this on his head, see if that will go on there, because that's where these are supposed to go. I have a hard time getting the other ones on. I think one may have fallen off. I'm not entirely sure. There. All right. They're a little crooked. I'm trying to straighten them up a little bit. There. All right. So how does that look? That look good? You hope to catch it? Cool. Thank you very much. So then we have that blue bandana. We're going to put that on him. I hope this video is going to be a fairly quick one, Sean Jones. So hopefully you'll have plenty of time to get to the next one later this afternoon. So there you go. There's that blue bandana. And then we have his backpack. Now, the problem with these backpacks is they have the secondary, and it is extremely hard to get through both of these pegs in order to get the backpack in the right position. See, it doesn't want to go into that hole there. You have to try to line it up, and it is a bit of a difficult situation. All right, I think I got it. I got it into both holes. So there's that. He has a little bit of crimson on the back there with a black chevron and some light gray explosives and that black rope that the other one has. And then he has his gun. So I have the gun in most of the hands, and that in the right hand. I'm going to put this one this time in the left hand just to give some differentiation to this. Hopefully that will be all right. All right, I think I got it on there. Yep. So I have his rifle in his left hand this time. So there you go. And then I got a stand ready for him, and we'll put him on his stand. And there. So there's your Crimson Viper. Pretty much basically the same Viper. So the Tampo here is it's silver on this one. So he's got a lot of gray, black, red, scarlet deco hits to give him some color separation. Let's see if he I never opened this set. Vipers are a top 5 Joe all time for me. Well, there are a lot of people that love Vipers, so I think that's probably why they're making so many Vipers. I'm going to check to see what the color scheme, if it matches the Crimson Guard. I'm going to pull over a Crimson Guard real quick. Here's a Crimson Guard. Let's see if they match the color scheme with this Crimson Guard. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty close to that color scheme. I think it looks really good. So I forgot to mention yesterday with the Firefly version 2 classified that the articulation points, he's got the same head rocker articulation points, Firefly and him. He's got both, they both have the butterflied shoulders, the double pinned elbows, double pinned knees. He's got the ab crunch underneath the secondary. He's got the same crotch articulation. He's got the secondary wrist articulation. He's one of the few that has the secondary wrist articulation there, I believe. Maybe not. No, just the regular wrist articulation. He does have the secondary knee and the foot rocker, though. And he's got the crotch articulation. So he's got all the main articulation points. And so did that Firefly from yesterday have all the same articulation points. I forgot to mention that. I got distracted with the chat. There was a lot going on in the chat yesterday. So, but definitely they look really cool, and they're going to fit in with my Crimson squad a lot. I like the fact that you can do different squads with Classified, where you can do a Crimson squad, you can do a Python squad, you can do a Fire Team squad, you can do different things where you can have different factions with their different squads. It's getting to a point where even the Range Viper, there's 4 Range Vipers now, so you'll be able to get a Range Viper squad, or maybe sometime down the road we'll get more Night Vipers and you can do a Night Viper squad or whatever. I think Woody was talking that he got 50 Night Vipers, so he's going to be able to do a squad of Night Vipers already. But I like that. I like that because you want them in different environments, different locales across the world with your photography and your dioramas and stuff, and you can show that those factions fit into that environment, and you can have them all like doing what they need to do in those environments to take out the G.I. Joe forces in those environments as well. And I think it's a really, really cool play pattern that you could create with all the different factions and all the different colored schemes for these things. And you think of these different factions like the Dreadnoks, the Iron Grenadiers, the Crimson Team, the you know, all these different factions for Cobra, Python Patrol, and Cobra La to a certain extent. And you can do different places around the globe, and that's where you can place different agents like, you know, Major Blood, Scrap Iron, Copperhead, Firefly, and possibly a whole bunch of new characters that we haven't even gotten yet into those different environments and those different scenarios to battle Joe with those factions. I think it really creates an imaginary world for you that Cobra is a global threat, and they can be anywhere, and all these different factions could be at different locations. I remember reading in the comics, Larry Hama's comics, a lot of times it was just a bunch of Vipers. Like you'd get one Alley Viper, one Night Viper, one this Range Viper, one that Viper, all in a bunch, in a cluster, and they'd be coming out to just, and I never really cared for that much. I always wanted it to be more of a group effort, like a group of vipers, and stuff in different posts around the world, you know. But that's just my way of looking at it. With the Arctic theme, now we have Arctic bats, we have snow serpents, we have two different snow serpents. We're gonna have a third snow serpent, his driver. So that makes a platoon, like a kind of a thematic platoon that is going after those Arctic Joes in that sequence. And maybe you can throw in your Storm Shadow, your Arctic Storm Shadow along with it as one of the leaders or whatever. And it just makes sense that way. Just throwing in a bunch of different characters, in that scene doesn't make sense to me. But I think they were just trying to use the animation, or they're just trying to use the what the artist drew, or the directions that Larry might have given the artist or whatever comics. But I think it I think I would have enjoyed it better if it was more strictly one faction here, one faction there, one group of vipers there, one group of vipers there. That's just my 2 cents. Everybody's play pattern is different than mine, but I think that would really be cool. But I think another knockout for this, he's got all the same like pouches and all the same grenades and all the same layering and padding on all the different armaments and his knee pads and his leg boots and stuff like that. And sometimes I see some of this stuff and it sticks out differently for each version of the Viper. Like they used a lot of heavy paint on that Viper, but these Vipers they didn't, because they printed most of the stuff into the secondary and the figure parts, so it looks a little bit different. Whereas this, they use a lot of red paint over the blue, whereas there's not a lot of red paint or anything on this because it was printed. And the same goes with this. It's a gray figure, but they do have a secondary red that's solid, like printed that way. So it's interesting the way that they choose the different deco breaks and everything. But I like it. I think it's a really cool figure, and I think they did a good job. So far, there hasn't been a bad Viper, in my opinion. They've all been really good. So we've gotten the regular Viper, we got the Python Viper, we got the Viper Squad, which has the Viper Commander and then the 2 troopers. Now we have the Crimson Viper. I believe there's maybe 2 more Vipers coming. One of them is going to be a retro Viper, and I believe one of them is going to be part of the fire team. I could be wrong. I can't recall who's on the fire team, but we're going to be getting to the fire team not too long from now, so we'll find out eventually if the Viper's on the fire team. But overall, I think this is a good figure. So I think that covers it for the Crimson Viper. We'll just add him to this display with his figures. And then, so stay tuned this afternoon. Anybody that's watching this, about 5 o'clock for our 150 subs special episode. And then tomorrow we'll be doing another episode in the morning, and then possibly the 2 o'clock Toy Talk Live with my compatriots Terry Ruin and Dan Thompson. And I think that does it. We're going to be coming from a special location next week for a few days. Stay tuned for that, the highlights on that, when we will be going and where we will be going. And we will be doing some videos, 2 or 3 videos from this special location next week. So that's going to be really fun, and I look forward to showing you guys this special location. And I think that does it. So thank you again, Sean Jones, for being in the chat this morning. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We're on our way to 200 now. So we're just moving along. I don't expect that we're going to get like huge. I don't think we're going to get into the thousands or whatever. I just want to have a nice group of folks, a community here that we can chat and talk and help each other out and contribute to each other's collecting and be parts of each other's GI Joe family and stuff like that. We can ask questions and stuff like that. And if someone needs something, you can help them find something, or if they have some information, maybe I don't always have all the information, they can contribute. So that's really what I want. I just want a nice group of people in the chat community that I can talk to, and we can each help each other out and stuff like that. So thank you very much, Sean Jones. Hope to see me later. Thank you. Appreciate it. So I think that's going to do it. So again, keep an eye out for tonight's episode, our 150 subs episode, and it's going to be a fairly long episode. We got a lot to go over with that, but it's going to be a lot of fun stuff. So it'll fly by like that. So again, thanks a lot, and we will see you guys in the next one.